Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Rachel, and on this channel, I am sharing with you how I use generative AI to build my publishing company in less than 30 days. Okay, so in the last video, I gave you a more comprehensive breakdown of what lifecycle marketing is. I told you about funnels. I shared with you about tripwires and upsells and downsells and all of the things that I believe are important when it comes to creating a product or service to keep people in your business excited about your products and services. Super passionate about this subject because I am a life cycle marketing expert. That is what I've been doing in my career for at least the past decade or so. So anyway, let me show you how we are going to develop our own life cycle funnel based on the monetization strategy that we created in phase one of our build. Hi, Zora. Now I would like to move into phase three, which is building out our life cycle marketing funnel. Based on our monetization strategy, we had 3 different tiers, but I would like to use the first tier, which should generate us about 2K a month, utilizing what you know in this folder, what you suggested with our lead magnet, with our tripwires, our upsells, our downsells, and even our core offer, which could potentially be a membership. So based on this information and based on what you have in the folder, build out the first iteration of our lifecycle marketing funnel. Okay, so now that we have our funnel, let's see, or not our actual funnel, this is just the outline, but within a few minutes, this is such an amazing build out, which would have taken myself and my team much longer than 3 minutes to build. Okay, cool. So the funnel goal is 2K a month. So this is based around 5 books that are on Amazon and 5 digital sets of printables that are on Etsy. This is anchored by a paid lead magnet. So I decided not to do a free lead magnet, but we're going to do paid lead magnets, then the wire, a core offer, and then to the membership funnel. Okay, so let's just walk through each part of the funnel so you can see how it is broken down. So it's going to start at what we call top of funnel and then work its way all the way down. Okay, cool. So the first step is the actual lifecycle funnel map. So what that looks like is awareness and then traffic entry in our paid ad strategy video. We talked about a budget of $150 a month and how we could optimize as much as we can on that. It's telling us that another entry point is our blogs. So we have written blogs. So that looks like organic SEO from people searching on Google or Safari. And then also we have Pinterest as well. We have Pinterest, people searching on Pinterest, which is number 1 in the ads that are helping boost it. Number 2, we have our blogs. And number 3, we have a YouTube channel. So although I'm telling you how I built this brand on the channel, someone is going to actually click on the brand and purchase. So this is another entry point for the brand. And then also social media. So that looks like reels, pins, shares, those sorts of things. Now we actually get into what we call the top of the funnel. So this is the door in which people come into. So if we look at a funnel kind of like this, it's super wide at the top and then it gets smaller and smaller as we go down. Okay. So at the top, we have our lead magnet, which again is a small offer, something that's like a sample, a small taste for a very low price. So here it's saying our lead magnets, the offer could be a starter pack, which is 10 printables for $3, is sharing with me the delivery. So through Etsy, I can deliver it through Etsy. I can deliver it through ConvertKit, which is the CRM that I am using. Create a landing page, have people download from that landing page. And then it even tells me what my positioning is. So it's a paid mini bundle. So you value value it, and it's not a throwaway freebie. So what that is saying is that because it is $3 or $1 or whatever I decide to charge, that it is positioned as more valuable because it is paid versus being free. And it's also giving me the tag. This will come in handy a little bit later when we get into actually using our CRM to tag our audiences, to tag different behaviors, so that we can do some other really cool things in marketing later on. I think that's probably an advanced concept. So that'll probably be like in the advanced concepts folder when we get to that, but still very important to know. The next part of the funnel is called the tripwire. So again, we started at the top with the free thing or the very inexpensive thing. And so if they buy that, then they move down one more ladder of that funnel. And that looks like the tripwire. So a tripwire is an impulse upgrade. So if you've ever bought anything online and it's like, hey, for a limited time or for the next 10 minutes, you can add on this thing for only $10, $40, $100, whatever that looks like. That's called a tripwire. So from a marketing perspective, this looks like the reason why we do this is one, to obviously have the customer spend more money with you. Also, it is a way for you to offer even more value. And from a marketing perspective, a lot of times people use this additional bump in income. So if your tripwire is say $10, they would use that $10 to pay for ads. So that's a little insider tip or insider thing about what marketers do. But again, we have the tag. So really quick, let me explain what tags are. Essentially, when we start building out our emails in our system, whether it's ConvertKit or anything like that, we want to tag the behaviors of people. So if we know that our customer has already bought our tripwire or our lead magnet, perhaps we don't want to send them the same email inviting them to buy that thing again. And or because they've already bought this, we can even maybe create a secret email or another type of email or offer specifically to these people that some of the other folks who may be on our email list won't see because they haven't been tagged because they haven't purchased. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, let's move on down to the core offer. We have upsells, the downsells. So an upsell is, once you get into the core offer. So here it looks like one paperback book. Even after our core offer, an upsell would be, hey, for example, the upsell here is, in addition to this coloring book or our core offer, here's something that is a great companion. So in this example, the companion is a tools guide, a guide where I'm maybe sharing some amazing coloring pencils or markers or something that will go great with our coloring books. This is also another opportunity to use affiliate links if you have any affiliate codes or links that you would like to share and get a small commission just from doing this. And then a downsell is, say that they did get the core offer, but they didn't get the upsell offer. So they didn't want the tools guide. So you say, hey, maybe the tools guide in addition was $7 is too much, but we can offer you something else for $5. That's a little bit cheaper and a lighter version of the upsell thing. Again, I hope that makes sense. So the downsell here is a $5 if they didn't get the tripwire or if they abandoned cart. So that also looks like, hey, if they didn't buy this, maybe you could say, hey, sorry that you didn't, want to buy this thing, but we have something, again, that's lighter, a lighter version of our core offer that's also a fraction of the price. And then it also gets into membership, which is a future core offer. It's also a recurring offer that is built to continue to make us income. So again, that's also getting much further down the funnel because we would assume people who would be a member of something like coloring book membership are huge connoisseurs of coloring, right? Which probably aren't the people, which are probably less people than at the top of that funnel. So hopefully that makes sense. And then Also, we have our email flow. So once these people have bought our lead magnet, how are we going to deliver value to them? So this suggestion is a series of of 6 emails, where it looks like the first one, we are delivering our lead magnet, and then we're adding some value by giving tips on coloring. We are maybe offering our tripwire. Remember, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We are talking about our core offer. We're giving social proof. So if we have some great reviews from our clients online that we can share to build some trust. And then also the last email is again the invitation to the membership, which is at the bottom of that funnel. So then it gives us a breakdown and says, hey, look, if you can get 300 buyers at $3 a month, that's $900. If out of these 300 buyers, 150 of those buyers bought the tripwire at $9, that's 1,300. That's 1,350. If these people bought the core offer at an average of $12, that's $960. If they bought the upsells at $7, that's $350. So boom, it's literally giving us a potential breakdown of the gross, but then of course buffering in ad spend and these sorts of things. But that is essentially how you build a life cycle marketing funnel outline. And now what we're going to do in the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually write out and create each of these components within minutes using AI.